whatever you wind up doing is exactly what you should be doing.
And I have not behaved one single day of my life. Not one day of my life have I behaved, and I am fine.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people.
Whose car are we gonna take?
Welcome to the pre-Thanksgiving Nikki Medoro Show. I am Nikki Medoro. Kim McAllister is here. We have a fun show on tap, but I do have an announcement to make, Kim McAllister.
Oh.
I have done something.
Is this
I had
a
to
big...
do it.
Okay.
I had to do it. I just had to. I woke up this morning, my eyes opened, and I was like, F this, I'm turning the heat on. It was like 57 degrees in here, so I couldn't make it to Thanksgiving. I was like, I'm going to do Kim's, is it your mom or your in-law? Your mom.
My mom. Single mom, never turned the heater on. The rule was until it hits Thanksgiving, you don't turn the heat on.
I was like, I'm freezing. I was this close. I am not even kidding. I don't know. I don't get like dressed up for this show. I mean, I want to wear like day clothes. I was wearing my San Francisco 49ers fuzzy. They're not feety pajamas, but they're like the whole body thing because I was freezing last night.
A onesie?
Yeah, onesie. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to take it off this morning. I was like, it was hard to go to the bathroom and unzip that thing. You know what I mean? I just wanted to zip it right back up.
Yeah.
And so I was like, and so I literally just got dressed. I was wearing it like as long as I possibly could. And I come out and I look at the thermostat and it says 58 degrees. And I was like, no, that's just, I don't even want to be outside at that temperature. And my kids are still in bed because it's, break. And I was like, screw it. I'm turning on the heat. So I know I have the music going, but like the vent, of course, is like right above my head, which I like because it's like, raining the heat down on me. But I just couldn't do it. And then I was laughing listening to the news this morning. It's like PG&E has some advice on how you can maximize your energy savings. How about PG&E? You take it, you shove it up your butt, because you know what would help me save money is if you stop raising my rates. But of course, it's things like, they always say this. Running the dishwasher instead of hand washing your dishes, which I know a lot of people like to do at Thanksgiving. Oh, let's stand at the sink and wash the dishes. It wastes so much water. Put it in the dishwasher and run the dishwasher. It is way better. And apparently it's helps with your energy bill. Then I don't know what washing your dishes. They say use a dishwasher, skip the rinse. Using the dishwasher is more energy efficient than washing by hand. I think it's more water efficient than washing by hand.
It doesn't cost anything PG&E wise
unless you're
to
using,
stand
I
at the
guess,
sink.
Well, unless you're using hot water, I guess, because that would use, your hot water heater, perhaps. But anyways, some other tips to save money since we're all stuck with PG&E. Use the convection setting on your oven. It cooks the food faster. My mom made a mistake one year, and we came over, and it was, I don't know if it was a turkey or it was something, and she was like, it says convection. I was like, the timing is different then. I was like, the time is different. And she was like, what? And we checked and it was already done. And she didn't even realize. Like, yeah. So if you're going to use convection, keep that in mind. Obviously, keep your lids on your freaking, roasters. Don't open your oven to peak. Use a crock pot. I don't know how many people use a crock pot for Thanksgiving. I don't know what I would use a crock pot for. Maybe if you're going to make some sort of soup for Thanksgiving,
or a casserole, maybe
a casserole. Are you cooking? No, you don't cook. Your husband's cooking.
My husband cooks. Yeah,
your husband's cooking. And then, of course, dim the lights. Dim the lights afterwards, so you're not using so much of that electricity we're paying a lot more for. We're going to be watching the Niner game. We have our whole entire dinner planned around the 49er game tomorrow. So the game's at 5. So keep that on your calendar.
You guys are nuts.
I'm kind of upset about it though, because I don't know if I've bitched and moaned about this yet, but it's a freaking short week for the Niners, and we're playing our division rivals in the Seahawks, and I'm not very happy about it because if we lose, I'm sorry. I'm totally blaming the fact that we're exhausted. So hopefully they do win. Hopefully we can get it together, but it's going to be a tough game tomorrow. Absolutely. Okay, let's click the thumbs up button to show your support for the show. Again, a reminder, a programming note for tomorrow and Friday. It won't be live, but I have done 2 interviews that I hope you enjoy. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the holidays, keeping your sanity for the holidays. Even though it's Thanksgiving tomorrow, it's all forward to Christmas. You know what I mean? Like Small Business Saturday is on Saturday as well. So, hey, if you want to help this small business, the super chat and everything is live as well. I'll be doing some shopping. My friend, actually, Kim, on I think December 1st, so next week, she's having a private event at a small business that we like to go to. And so she's inviting everyone to come and buy gifts and whatever. It's a clothing store. So, and they sell jewelry and stuff like that. So might be doing some Christmas shopping there, but yeah, visit your local small businesses. If you can, support your small businesses as much as possible. I usually do a mix, online shopping and of course in-person shopping. They were saying on the news today too that in-person shopping is looks like it's going to be up this year instead of people doing everything online. So I don't know if you want to brave the crowds or anything. I've only done Black Friday, like a real Black Friday at a mall, I think twice in my entire life. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to go to the mall. I'm not doing it this year. I'm going to be out in Fairfax on Friday seeing my friend who's in town from Idaho. So very, very excited about that. But yeah, if you want to support small businesses, this is one that we love. So sports, Super Chat is live. You can look for the $ under the live chat box and throw us a super comment, thanks, sticker, and what have you. And then the number one way, if you can afford it this holiday season, is to become an official Medorable. You just go to the NikkiMedoroShow.com, click the Patreon link, and then you just choose how much you can afford one time a month. So if it's $1 a day, if it's $3 a day, we absolutely appreciate it. And we depend on this because it is 100% crowdfunded. We do have PayPal links up there as well. There's the PayPal, but it's just easier to remember the email address. Just go to paypal.com, hit send, and then put in the email, the Nikki Medoro Show @gmail.com. There will be confirmation that you have the right PayPal address. And then our merch shop is up and running, the NikkiMedoroShop.com if you want to buy it there. I think I'm going to try to put out some more fun type of t-shirts, not necessarily everything with a logo on it, but some fun stuff there. And of course, my list of favorite things is still up. I'll be adding more throughout this weekend, and definitely as we go through the holiday season and moving forward, that will be there as well. So some new content coming up for you guys tomorrow and Friday. So keep it here on the YouTubes. Now, when do you get your Christmas tree, Kim McAllister?
Usually the weekend after Thanksgiving, but unless everyone in this house tests negative for COVID, we're not going anywhere.
How's Julia feeling?
I walked by her room moments ago and I heard a wet sounding cough.
Okay.
Today's the day we're going to test everyone in the house again.
Okay.
She claimed last night that she was actually feeling a little bit better. So I don't know.
Wet coughs to me, I would much rather hear than dry, scratchy coughs. I know it sounds gross, you know what I mean? But the daughter of the nurse in me, wet means productive, right? Wet, get it out, spit it out, get all that sick out. It's just a mental thing that I do. And so, yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're on the other side of it, but at least it's not, stuck in there, hopefully. Does she have fever? Were we able to check her fever?
We didn't check the fever because she told me she didn't feel hot and she didn't feel like she had one.
Okay. Well, keep us posted. I know it's such a crappy time for your streak to end. It never fails though, right? I mean, it was bound it couldn't have just happened on any other random week. It had to be a holiday week. So,
I mean, I guess it's good that she's not missing school.
F that. No. You're so the opposite of me. You are so the opposite of me. I'm like, oh, thank God it happened. If it happened during school, yes, she's missing school. She could do schoolwork though. You know what I mean? Like you want to spend time as a family on holidays.
I do want that, but it's also once high school hits and the homework starts flying, it's hard to make that up.
She can do it at home. Like she can get it, right? I mean, isn't there a way of her getting the homework?
Yes, kind of, but everything, the grading, everything seems like it's more complicated, and then there's all these missing assignments, and then teachers take a while to put them in the online grading system.
Failing your class because you have all these missing assignments. It's just
that gives me a heart attack. I can't. Yeah.
Back in the day, I just a little on the whole grading thing nowadays. When we were kids, Kim, there wasn't this daily, weekly update of how we were doing in class.
Back in the day, your parents didn't know until your report card came home.
Until your report card came home.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel on one hand, I like to know if my kid's struggling. Like I like to know earlier, right? Because kids aren't going to just lead with that at the dinner table, right? But at the same time, it's a little unfair knowing that there is a lag time on grading. There's all these different things. And some teachers are better than others. Some teachers, they don't grade till the end of the semester or whatever. They're like, whatever, it's just stuck in there. And then others are every day. It seems like they're updating it. And it leads to so many arguments. Like, what are you doing with this grade? I want to see it change. And it can't just change overnight because assignments aren't graded and things. So yeah, I feel for kids. But yeah, and I feel for Julia. I'm really sorry that you can't go.
See, I was thinking timing couldn't have been more fortuitous. We aren't going to my dad's because he was afraid of getting sick, and lo and behold, he was right. Right. So we're not really affecting anyone but ourselves here, keeping to ourselves. And she's not missing school, and it sucks for her. But we FaceTime.
Wow.
She and I, we FaceTimed last night. And
she looks okay, and she sounds, she feels okay. It's just kind of cold. Okay.
And we're leaving each other little notes in the bathroom.
Oh, well, that's kind of sweet. And, not that we ever want our kids to be sick, but isn't it true that when they are sick, they're just so much more lovey? They're like, oh, Mom. Yeah, like, yes, I remember the nice child. Andrea still has her COVID streak going, which is awesome.
I love it.
Yeah. And Lori says you have to check her temperature. Okay. Apparently you have to monitor her temperature and make sure that she doesn't have a fever. I mean, she might have a fever as long as it's not like in a dangerous zone. I think she'll be okay. But yeah, definitely keep an eye. Send her our love. We think of her often.
You know who I have on the Mark Thompson show today?
Yes, I do. We have to hit the sexy time music.
Dr. Hottie himself is coming on the show. Is it wrong? Do we only used to call him that off the air, or do we say it on the air too?
It is your crush. This is not my crush. He's definitely a good-looking dude, but is he a Matthew McConaughey? No, he's not. He's
Dr. Peter Chin Hong will be on the Mark Thompson show today. That's right.
Call him Dr. Peter Chin Hottie. I mean, if we're gonna do the whole McConaughey thing.
No, don't. I'll mess that up when he comes on. I can't do that.
Okay, everybody just put it in the comments. So he said, no, I'm just kidding. We love Dr. Peter Chin Hong. I'm not really trying to demean him or anything, so don't start writing at me.
Don't want to objectify the man.
Exactly. Oh, but Kim has the biggest crush on Dr. Peter Chin Hong, so it is so funny.
Cute.
He is a good-looking doctor.
And he's super smart, and he's so smart, and he's nice. Yeah. He loves the ocean and reggae. Like, what's not to love? I'm just saying.
He likes
totally
the ocean
mellow,
and reggae.
but like
Do you have the image that Kim is having in her mind? He likes the ocean. We could just sit and talk about COVID-19 on the beach, listening to reggae. No, he's a really nice guy. We had him on KGO so many times, so I'm glad that you're going to have him on. But yeah, COVID, we talked about this yesterday, COVID, RSV, and the flu. I got to go get my shot. I'll probably get it next week. But you got it, and well, you and your husband both got the booster last month. Your daughter has COVID, and knock on wood, you guys won't get it. And hopefully you'll stay protected from that. So, But yeah, I turned the heat on. I'm loving it. As far as the Christmas tree, did you know, and this has happened before, actually, you can cut down your own Christmas tree in the National Forest. Some U.S. national forests are giving Christmas.
Wait a minute.
Yep, they're giving you some permits. So you can cut down your tree. There's a bunch of them. Stanislaus National Forest. There are a bunch in California. You have to get a permit, but the permits are only like $10, and some are just giving them away. So there are approximately 20 to 30 million real Christmas trees sold in the U.S. every year. They cost about $80, or you can cut yours down yourself for a $10 permit purchase. So,
but don't do it without the permit, or you get busted.
Permit or you get busted.
Yeah.
We cut down our Christmas tree, I want to say a few years ago, but it was one of those. It's a lot. It's not like I'm like trekking through the forest looking for the perfect tree. It was one of those cut your It's okay. I don't know. I mean, would I do it again? Probably not. I'm probably just gonna go to a local Christmas tree lot. And just
we used to do that every year. That's kind of a big deal for us to chop down the tree. But there's all this that's the type of Christmas tree farm that we have a lot of here.
Right. So you're like in the perfect location for it all.
Yeah, that's true. Although I will say that for the last 2 years, we were kind of busy,
Mhm.
and my husband said, I just don't feel like chopping it down.
Exactly.
So we
It's
got
not
it from a
easy.
place. Yeah.
It's not the easiest thing to do. So
But most of the time we go, and then we have traditions at the Christmas tree farm. This year, my niece, who is 17, will be
Okay.
17, she just got a job at the Christmas tree farm.
Ooh, how fun.
Mhm,
Oh, then you
yeah.
need to go to that one.
It's her first job out at the Christmas tree farm.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's a great first job.
Yeah.
Good for her. And she's going to be 17? Going to be 17?
She'll be 17 in January. Yeah.
I wonder what my daughter's first job is going to be. She can't wait to work, which is really, really funny. She's like, is excited to get her first job, which I was too until my first day. And then I was like, shoot, I got to do this every day. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so you can cut down your own tree. If you want to find more information on where to get the permits, so you do it legally, just go to recreation.gov/tree permits, tree-permits, I should say, recreation.gov/tree-permits. And you can cut down your own Christmas tree. We're probably not going to go simply because we're going to be out of town and we're going with other people. So we don't have to drive, which is amazing. But, you know, I don't know if they can fit 2 trees on their roof. So I don't think we're going to be doing that. So maybe I know I'm going to start decorating hopefully on Sunday, the house. But then maybe next weekend we'll go.
Yeah.
Stop at Alice's restaurant for some burgers on your way, Mindy says. I don't know who she's referring to. Vicky says Christmas tree farm work looks hard. Probably. I would say, well, matters what she's doing. If she's just checking people out, it doesn't seem that hard. If you have to put the net on it and put it on top of the car, that looks hard. I don't know what your niece is doing.
I don't know either, but I'll tell you, she doesn't shy away from physical work, this one.
Okay.
However, I would guess that she'll probably have a little ornament shop out there.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
And that's where you go in and you pay. And I bet that either she works at the ornament shop or she's behind the register accepting payment.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. And then you'll be able to talk with people. And I'm going to guess that people are in a really good mood because they're in the Christmas spirit and blah, blah, blah. So that'll be great. It's a fun thing to do. Second Harvest Food Bank needs your donations. The Second Harvest of Silicon Valley serves 500,000 people every month. They are looking to people to help raise $30 million by the end of the year to meet the need for food assistance. So yeah, if you can help, I mean, that's the Second Harvest of Silicon Valley. I'm sure there's food banks near you. That's another thing. If people are looking for something to do and to donate to, that you should do, because turkeys are cheap this year. So if you are, I've seen so many buy one, get ones. I think at Lucky's they had one. I just saw an ad. It was like 94 cents per pound for a turkey. I saw a buy one, get one, I think also at Lucky's. It depends on the brand, of course, that you get. Now, speaking of that, this video has been going viral. There's a Fox News commenter. I feel like he was in politics, and forgive me, but he's a Republican. Jason Chaffetz. Remember him? That's the guy he's in the picture below the show. All right. He was a congressman for Utah's 3rd congressional district. And he went on Fox News talking about the counter narrative from Republicans that things are so much more expensive, even though they've shown the prices of things, everything from gas to turkeys being down. So this is Jason Chaffetz on Fox News talking about how much he paid for a turkey.
I mean, we went to go buy a turkey today. It was $90 for a turkey.
What?
The price of stamps is up 32% in the last 4 years. But it's all a choice by Joe Biden. That is what Bidenomics is.
So he paid, according to Jason, $90. $90. And you know what? He lied. He didn't pay $90. I'm going to show you the picture that he posted. This is a picture he posted of his turkey. It was actually $114.02. But he bought the most fancy schmancy organic diesel turkey ranch young turkey, where he paid $4.99 a pound for this turkey. It's 22 pounds. He paid $114 for it. Now, whose fault is this? Is this Biden's fault? Is this Biden's fault? You guys tell me, because I think it's complete BS. Some people were claiming they're like, wait a minute, you bought the most woke turkey ever because it's like organic, it's like farm raised, sustainable, without any vegetarian fed, raised without antibiotics, no preservatives, minimally processed, pure turkey, no gluten. I don't know why there would be gluten in a turkey, but okay. Yeah. So he overpaid for a fancy schmancy high-end turkey, which, okay, you can do that if this is the type of turkey you want. If you truly, truly believe that this gives you a better turkey and it cooks better, fine. But you can't blame Bidenomics on this. Blame yourself. Look in the mirror and be like, I want a high-end turkey. That's not Bidenomics. You know what Bidenomics is? It's 94, 97, 99 cents a pound. You could be a smart person, a smart consumer, and buy the cheaper turkeys, or you can pay for all of this stuff. Now, I'm not knocking people that want to do it. I'm just knocking him because he is trying to rationalize. He posted this picture after everybody was like, how big of a turkey did you buy if you spent $90 on it? And again, he spent $114. I don't think he wanted to say $114 because people would have been like, wait a minute, wait, where did you get this turkey? And the guy next to him's like, wow. It's like, wait, that's not reality. Rod says a whole turkey is $7.99 at grocery outlet if you buy $50 in other food. It's not a butterball, but so what? Yeah, you don't have to get this type of turkey. You really, really don't. Now, I know that Kim's automatically thinking I'm not buying a turkey at grocery outlet, but
Never.
They're not going to sell you expired turkey at grocery
I would
outlet.
rather not eat it. It's questionable. What the hell's wrong with
she's
it?
So
Why is it so
grocery
cheap?
Outlet. Grocery outlet and this bargain market. I always say farmer's market. And you guys were laughing at me last time, but whatever. Let's see. You can get a butterball for $169. Lucky's had a Jenny O turkey was, I want to say, 99 cents. John paid 39 cents a pound for a fresh turkey. Eric says, I have a friend who got an entire dinner with sides for $67 at Lucky's. So again,
wow, that's crazy.
This is the problem with Republicans, is that they act like everyone's doing what Jason Chaffetz did. Nobody's doing what Jason Chaffetz did. Jason Chaffetz overpaid for his fancy turkey.
Well, listen, I'm sure there are a lot of people doing what he did. There are people that aren't struggling financially, right?
Exactly.
They go to the most expensive grocery store and they buy the most expensive, fanciest turkey they can get their hands on. Mm-hmm. And then they complain about how expensive it was, when the truth is that, they went to the most expensive place to get the most expensive thing. That's different. That's different than somebody who's going to Safeway, looking for a deal and pays twice as much as last year. And that's not what's happening turkey-wise this year.
Yeah, exactly.
And trust me, they know that because I've seen the story everywhere. They want you to know the turkey is cheaper, right? This story is all over the place. You
don't have to go to the news. Go to your grocery store. You should know by now that turkey is cheap. You should just know that. Come on, give me a break. It's also giving people that, remember David Brooks when he went to Newark Airport and he posted like a $78 burger meal and it was really his 2 bourbons that were expensive. Oh, yeah. Remember that? It's crazy. It is crazy right now. Doug, if you like Jenny O, go to Lucky's. They have an ad. Do I have it? Lucky is selling Jenny O birds for 97 cents a pound. I'm almost positive I just saw that in my thing. So if you like those, obviously today, probably the best day to buy a turkey, I would say. I don't know. Hopefully it's not frozen though, because then you have a lot of soaking in water to do. But today they're trying to give away the turkeys because everyone's cooking it tomorrow. So if you really want a deal, act like a normal human being. Don't act like this turkey, Jason Chaffetz, and overpay for a turkey that you really just don't need to.
Here in the North Bay, we have this place called Willie Bird's. Willie Bird's turkey. And
is that a fancy schmancy one?
I think so. Although to us, it's kind of common because it's where a lot of people get their turkeys in the North Bay. And I don't know if it's that much more expensive. I'm not sure. I haven't priced it out this year.
But is that where you got your turkey?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I love how you have no comprehension of how the dinner.
He did the shopping. I know there's a turkey out there. I don't know where it came from or how much it was. I don't know.
Oh, to live.
For all I know, it could very well have been from Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. I don't know.
David, at one point, I don't know if David would want to shop there. He probably believes the same way you do about the food there. Although Andrea says, my daughter works at Grocery Outlet in San Jose. I used to be skeptical, but I've never had bad food. You're not going to get bad food.
Okay.
Listen, Grocery outlet cannot exist if people get sick from the food. Grocery outlet cannot exist if people are buying all this expired stuff. Now, obviously, check the labels and the dates and things like that, but you should do that anyway. I remember, I want to say maybe 3 years ago, I was grocery shopping, and I buy Gallo salami, sliced salami in the package or whatever.
Right.
And I decided, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get this stick. Now, salami can come in like the whole stick, And I looked at it, and it's hanging. They have this like kiosk thing that they hang the salami sticks from. It didn't look at the right color. And I looked at the date, and it was totally expired. And I checked all of them, and they were all expired. And I was like, and I told, the worker or whatever. But that was at a normal grocery store, not grocery outlet. So it can happen occasionally. So don't be all snooty. And, maybe you should do an experiment. One of these days, just go into it. And I don't even know do you have grocery outlets in Petaluma?
Oh, yeah, there's one. Mm-hmm.
You should just walk in there, not buy anything, but just look and see, because you could just be overpaying. You could be saving a ton of money. I mean, apples are apples, whether it's sold at grocery outlet or it's sold somewhere else. If it's fresh and it's not bruised and it's not gross, it's not gross. So don't poo-poo it. See, James says grocery outlet's great. You just have to know what you're looking for. So there you go. And did I tell you also that I finally in my local grocery store, because other people found them in theirs, I got my sriracha back. So my sriracha
Oh, look at you.
is officially back. The original, the Huey Fong, I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. The original one, the rooster one, that one is back in my grocery store. So I was very excited. And that's what I'm thankful for as well. So, Calvin says, try it once, Kim. You should never know.
I have been in there before. You know what they have in there that I don't shy away from is wine.
Oh, okay. I don't.
So sometimes they have good wine for sale.
So that's okay to you.
Yeah.
You can drink, but you cannot eat.
No expiration date on that.
James says, pro tip, you can find amazing deal. Oh, there you go. On wine.
No,
if
thank
you know what you're looking for. Drod says it's fun to walk around and see what they have. It's ever-changing inventory. Kind of like, I guess, Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's does that a lot. Yeah, a lot of people are mentioning the wine, Kim.
I'm always in charge of the teacher's gift every year. And so, as part of my room mom duties.
Okay.
And
so you go to grocery outlet for the teachers? Is that what you're saying?
No. Okay. Maybe I'm in there buying wine, but I have seen... And so now I know to go there because they have these kind of like, it's like a little Christmas tree, but it's maybe, I don't know, 2 feet tall kind of thing. Right. So it's a larger tree, and sometimes they're very fragrant. They'll be, out of an herb or something, and they're not super expensive. They're not cheap, but they're not super expensive. So I always buy one of those, and then I stick an envelope with the cash and on the tree.
Nice. Yeah. That's very nice of you.
Yeah.
You know what I have found now that my daughter is in high school and my son's in middle school, and I literally, you just told me this. I'm gonna obviously wait because Christmas isn't here. But whole communications from room parents seems to have ended. I don't even know if my son has a room parent. I know my daughter doesn't because they're not in the same room anymore. It seems to have gone by the wayside once you hit middle school. There doesn't seem to be this organization that I used to be part of in elementary school. I was often a room parent, right? A room volunteer in charge of something for the holidays. And that goes by the wayside, and it shouldn't, because I think that it gets even harder for these friggin' teachers, right? They should get a lot more help in the older grades than they do in the younger ones, in my opinion. But
here's the problem with high school, though. She's got 6 teachers.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I go broke trying to gift all these kids or these teachers. But in the smaller junior high they went to, it was still part of the elementary school.
Wow.
So for us, it goes all the way up to 8th grade, and then you go to high school, and then
I mean, I'm trying to think if have I gotten any communication from my son's school this year from like a room parent, unless I'm missing something. No, but again, he has different classes. He travels and all that sort of stuff. Oh, Flo, you're so awesome. Hello, Nikki and Kim. Went to New York City on Sunday, Flo says, for a theater award ceremony.
Yay!
I was a nominee for Best Director category. Made it back to Cali for major surgery. The next day, surgery was successful.
Oh, man.
Wow, Flo, what a story.
I'm so glad the surgery was successful.
Congratulations. Yeah, that is awesome.
He wrote a play. It was performed in New York, and then it was to rave reviews, sold out, and then he got nominated for this award. This is really a cool thing.
Is it I mean, is it recorded anywhere where we could check it out? I'd love to check that out, Flo. But congratulations. That is amazing. So happy that the surgery was successful as well. And thank you for the $20 donation to the super chat. You are amazing. And that is amazing. Anybody has wins, make sure you put it in there, because we always want to, support all of our fans and this community that we love so very much. Kathleen's like, whoa, what a dramatic life you live. Exactly. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Okay, let's do some headlines. Again, click the thumbs up button. Show your support for the show if you want to be like Flo. The super chat is also live. Just look for the $sign. We take super stickers, super thanks, a super comment that we will read if you donate live. Although you could donate during the replay, which I know so many of you do. When we come back, we'll talk another way that we're saving this holiday season. Big news. I'm sure Kim's following it as well. Sam Altman, that soap opera, many people are saying is going to be made into a movie.
Oh, sure it will.
And flying. Crazy people freaking out on airlines. And are you ready for flying cars? Let us know in the comments. And here's Kim with some more headlines.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
Let us start with the Israel and Hamas war, where a ceasefire has been agreed to in Gaza to allow hostages to be released, some, and to let in aid. The deal would see at least 50 hostages captured by the militant Palestinian group Hamas released in exchange for 150 Palestinians held by Israel. I will say 50 hostages when there's more than 200 being held. The word is that women and children will be released, but 150 Palestinian prisoners held by Israel. It seems a little lopsided, but there will be a 4-day ceasefire in order for this transaction to happen. Again, the truce is supposed to last for at least 4 days, with Israel saying it could be extended as long as 10 hostages were freed each day after that.
I just want them to release all of them.
I
just
too.
want it to end.
Yeah.
I just feel so helpless when we sit here. I saw this video yesterday, Kim, and I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's kind of making its rounds. It's this little video of this little girl. And obviously she's in the Middle East and she's celebrating a birthday. And what happens between that birthday and the next birthday is basically a war breaks out and she's hiding. And it's just, and basically it ended by saying, just because it's not happening here doesn't mean it's not happening. And just to remember that people are going through this at this very moment. And it's so sad. All I keep saying is I just want it to stop. I just want it to stop.
More than half of Americans say they or someone they live with owns a gun. I mean, yes. I can say that. And I'm sure as well. So again, more than half of American voters say they or someone they live with own a gun. An NBC News national poll shows 52% say so. That's up from 46% in 2019. Gun ownership falls along partisan lines, with 2 in 3 Republican voters saying they or someone in their household owns a gun. Less than half of independents and Democrats said the same. White voters tended to say they own guns at higher rates than Black or Latino voters, interestingly.
And California can continue to share firearm data with researchers studying the causes of gun violence. This just happened, I think, yesterday or the day before, where the 4th District Court of Appeal ruled that firearm data can be accessed by this research center. I guess plaintiffs sought to prevent researchers from accessing data on firearms, saying it violated their privacy. And they had received a preliminary injunction, but now this new court order says, nope, California's Department of Justice can continue to share firearm data with researchers. Why? Why would you not want research on something like this? It's absolutely ridiculous.
Meanwhile,
so
speaking of guns, in Oregon, voters had approved increased background checks and gun safety classes. And a judge yesterday said, nope, unconstitutional. Can't do that.
Stupid. It's like, come on. It's the Second Amendment is just, I'm not saying it's 100% wrong, but the way we have bastardized the thinking of our founding fathers on what they could have possibly thought we would have used this for is ridiculous. It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
In other news, a new poll shows Donald Trump widening his lead against President Biden in a 2024 presidential matchup. I'm shaking my head. The Emerson College poll found 47% of respondents support Trump compared to 43% who said they would vote for President Biden. About 10% of voters in the poll were undecided.
Wow. Wow. I don't get it. I just don't get how people can. Robert, I was watching a video of Robert De Niro and he was just like cussing up a storm. He's like, New Yorkers have known who this asshat basically is. And he's like, F him, F him. And I can't, it's a cult. That's all I can default to. There's no other way of thinking about it. That's, and then the fact that MAGA people will talk out both sides of their mouth, talking about Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and the corrupt family. Are you the corrupt family? Hold this family under a microscope. Not even a microscope. It's plain as day out there. And people just don't want to hold Trump accountable to anything. It's just ridiculous.
I was reading an article that said younger voters, Democrats, are turning away from President Biden.
Well, let's see who the nominees are. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people are hoping. I think Cassidy Hutchinson was just saying yesterday or the day before, remember she was a former aide. She was saying, no, she will never vote for Trump, but she wouldn't go as far as saying Biden, but she's like, I'm really hoping that there's somebody else as the Republican nominee that I can vote for. Yeah. And as a Republican, it's two Republicans out there. Don't you wish there was somebody else you could vote for that isn't like a criminal? Can you? No. Okay, I guess not.
You'd think America, this is the best we could do. All right. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Well, the Biden campaign will air ads in 2 key battleground states on Thanksgiving. The ads will run in Michigan and Wisconsin during the Detroit Lions game, the Green Bay Packers Thanksgiving game. So it's Lions-Packers, and that's where you're going to see the ads for President Biden.
Okay.
Now, that'll be interesting. The campaign will highlight President Biden's economic record and his efforts to lower prescription drug costs. Meanwhile, as this is happening on Thanksgiving, most Americans are hoping to avoid politics at the Thanksgiving dinner table.
Heck yeah.
A Quinnipiac University national poll shows more than 60% of Americans would rather not talk about the subject. Yep. On the other hand, just under 3 in every 10 said they look forward to discussing politics this holiday.
That's you. See, it's like we're both represented, Kim. You like it because you all agree. I hate it because we don't.
Sam Altman is returning as the CEO of OpenAI. Now you see him,
crazy.
Now you don't.
So crazy.
Altman was fired unexpectedly last Friday as the head of ChatGPT's company, shocking the tech industry. The move triggered hundreds of OpenAI employees to sign a letter threatening to leave and join Altman at Microsoft unless the company's board members resigned. Yeah, they need a new board. This makes them look all nutso, right?
Well, yeah, and and part of me, we don't know everything. Like, it seems so odd, right? Like this back and forth, and they're still going to be working with Microsoft. Like, you're like, oh, Microsoft missed out. So now OpenAI and Microsoft are going to be working together. They're going to be collaborating on all sorts of things because obviously Sam Altman likes people at Microsoft. Microsoft likes Sam Altman, and people are comparing it to Succession / Silicon Valley. Like, if you combine those two shows, because it's so nuts.
Microsoft
crazy.
owns a 49% stake in OpenAI, in that company.
There you go. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Plans to extend San Francisco's parking meter hours.
Yay!
On hold for right now. The Board of Supervisors reached an agreement to hold off after complaints from residents. The city's municipal transportation agency had proposed increasing hours to 10 p.m. on weekdays and to start charging on Sundays from noon to 6. Supervisor Aaron Peskin says many small businesses are still struggling to get back on their feet after the pandemic. Don't start charging people later on. No.
And like, because so many businesses missed out during APEC in San Francisco, this is the last thing they want. Oh, I can't even go to San Francisco on a Sunday without paying the meter. Now, when we went to House of Prime Rib last weekend for my husband's birthday, we found a metered parking space right around the corner, which was cheaper than, because we ended up going to Union Square and parking because there wasn't any like street parking when we went over there. And It was $7 for 2 hours. So that's pretty spendy for, just 2 hours.
This is just
of
another indicator, another signal from the MTC. They don't want you to drive in San Francisco.
Well, too friggin' bad. The world is set up for driving. You can't wrinkle your nose and create a completely different system of how people go. You want me to shop? What am I going to carry my bags everywhere?
Yep.
Are you kidding me? That's not the way the world works. I'm so happy that you want us to use public transportation. It sucks. It's expensive. It doesn't go where I want them to go. And I'm going shopping. I need a trunk.
You would think you need a trunk.
I need a trunk.
You would think that if they were trying to lure people back in to San Francisco to, be customers and patronize businesses, they would make it easier for you to park.
Yep.
They've made it nothing but harder. They've taken lanes away from the major thoroughfares. They've instituted extra parking regulations, the extra traffic regulations. No, they're not making it easier.
No, they're not. They should make it like the first hour of metered parking is free. Or I don't know how they would do that necessarily unless you knew how when they arrived. But something easy. Make, do things that work. More what do you call it? Not ballet.
Perks incentives.
Like when you go to a business and they approve your parking.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you validate your parking?
Validate it. Yeah.
I kept thinking validate your parking. Like do that. Like, okay, yeah. I'll park in a parking garage. And then for the first 2 hours, if I go to the store, they validate it and I can go shopping. That seems like something that would drive me to San Francisco. Not this. Okay.
I saw a lot of pictures of the ferry building when I was looking for ferry building pictures, but this one spoke to me. This old timey, isn't that kind of cool? Nice, yeah. One of San Francisco's most famous landmarks is going to new heights. There's now a plan to raise the ferry building by as much as 7 feet because of a rise in sea levels. It's home to 6 ferry piers and houses 44 shops and restaurants, as well as the iconic farmers market. But the bay is rising, and officials say the Embarcadero waterfront has already seen some flooding. This project will break ground in about a decade. It's pricey. Wow. But yeah, they're going to raise it 7 feet to protect it.
Well,
big old seawall.
Yeah, the seawall is needed. This is the reality. You do and the price tag is huge, but repairing a city flooded by bay water is going to be astronomical. So plus the risk of life and all those sorts of things. So yeah, we need to start doing it, and we needed to start doing it years ago, in all honesty. This is just the new reality. And when I mention this, and I'm not going to say politically, but in certain groups about, coastal rise, and I don't want to buy beachfront property because, again, I don't know what climate change is going to bring to the area and what have you. Would I buy property right on the bay, right? Let's just say there was a property right there. No. Why would not long term? Maybe if I was going to flip something really quickly. Okay. But this is the reality, and you can cover your eyes and plug your ears if you want to, but it's a coming. The water is a lapping at our door, and we need to do something about it.
Lastly, these guys are fighting. After all these years of being buddies, Hall and Oates are squabbling in court over some form of breach of contract and a restraining order.
Oh,
wow.
What
They have been
happened?
performing together for years and years and years. Now, TMZ is reporting the legendary music duo are on the outs. The court file is sealed.
No.
Sealed. I was trying to find out last night, but according to TMZ, they say it seems that Daryl Hall is accusing John Oates of breaking some kind of a deal.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, that sucks. I mean, how old are they? I mean, that's an old picture right there. I was like, that's how we remember Hall and Oates. That's not what they look like anymore. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm sure details will eventually come out. So,
yeah, it's Hall suing Oates.
And which one's Hall and which one's Oates?
Hall, I think it's Hall the white dude. I don't know.
I don't know. Oates sounds like a whiter name. I don't know.
Yeah, Daryl Hall is the blonde.
Okay.
Yeah. Oates.
Hall
Oates
is the blonde. Okay,
Oates is the other guy.
Okay, yeah.
Dark-haired guy. Yeah.
John Oates.
Yeah.
Okay, Daryl Hall and John Oates. Okay, there we go.
I mean,
Hall is blonde.
maybe they're both white guys, but like the extra white guy is Hall.
Yeah, the other guy looks like he could tan a little bit better. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know. Great. Please address the notes of why are you racist on the Nikki Medoro Show?
Not racist, just not big,
Yeah.
obviously Hall and Oates fans. I mean, we know the songs. I don't know the people that well. I've never seen them in concert. Forgive me. I mean, geez Louise.
Oh, they're 80s, but they're still touring and they're still doing new music.
They're still doing new music?
Yeah, they do have a new record out, but at least one of them does. Maybe it's a solo, but they're supposed to be touring. Maybe it has to do with the tour.
Maybe
I
it
don't
has
know.
to. Yeah, we'll see. All right.
This report is crowdfunded, which means we do rely on you to sponsor the show. Find us at thenikkimedoroshow.com. The Patreon link and the PayPal link are both there, and honestly, we couldn't do the show without you guys.
Oh, we cannot.
So thank you a million for checking it out, thenikkimedoroshow.com. I'm Kim McAllister. This is The Nikki Medoro Show.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Somebody was saying they saw him a few years. Andrea did. Saw Hall & Oates a few years ago. They're still great. Doug thinks there's something nefarious happening, perhaps. I hope it's a publicity stunt. Oates was the writer. Hall was the singer, right? Don't ask me. I'm terrible at this, obviously. Yeah, I mean, it always sucks when bands that you like start having, falling out, especially people that have been around together for so long. Okay, I want to say thank you again to Flo, who came in with a $20 donation to our super chat. Don also donated $10. So thank you guys so very much. Again, your donations to the show really keep it going. Literally. I can't exaggerate that at all. And again, if you can become an official Medorable and sign up, that's the money that Tim and I depend on every single month, and we really do appreciate it. Okay, so we already talked about OpenAI and the craziness that is, but then there is this craziness, and I'm going to show you this video. As so many of you might be, I don't know, flying, things are going to get crazy on the airlines. This video, now, I'm gonna play it. It's 3 minutes, so I'm gonna kind of skip forward a little bit. But it's gonna start off with this woman who is just screaming, and we don't know what's wrong with her. We think that maybe she's having a mental breakdown. They are trying to get this woman off of the plane, and so you'll see a bunch of people, and then another person, which is a black woman with she's wearing a gray hat, I think. She starts stepping in and goes nuts. Now, I don't know if this is going to be something normal that we'll see during the Thanksgiving holiday, but flying certainly has gotten extremely weird in recent years. So here's the video. And again, I'll keep jumping forward. So this is how it starts. This woman is jumping over the seats. The woman right there on the right. She's climbing over. I mean, people are sitting in these chairs. And they're trying to get her under control. Now she starts screaming. Okay, so see the black woman in the back with the gray hat on? She's going to start getting involved in this whole entire thing. Okay. Now this white woman is raising her hand. Now listen to this black woman.
There's a real devil that wants to kill each and every one of y'all, including your family members. That's not her. She's possessed and she needs help. And I'm sorry to say it like that, but I'm telling you right now, Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. And there's nobody that's going to come to the God, the Father, without Jesus Christ. And I'm telling you right now, the spirit of peace is the only thing y'all need. So trust him. In the name of Jesus, I command the spirit of peace. And as anybody knows.
So she starts trying to do some sort of exorcism in the back. And then the crazy woman is still on the plane. Now, I am just bringing this up. There she is. And she starts singing in the back. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because it can make anybody not ever want to fly again. I would not want to be dealing with this crap on my flight to see family during Thanksgiving.
What in the world just happened? What is that?
I mean, I think they were on the ground, Aussie. I don't think that they had flown because they were trying to get her off the plane. So I can only imagine, unless they were opening up the emergency chute, I am hands down positive they were still on the flight. Yeah, they were They were going to fly someone, but they had to make a landing in Dallas because the woman started to sing. The plane later made a landing in Dallas, so maybe it was in the air. I thought that it wasn't in the air. Yeah. So according to KTVU, or the Associated Press, in all honesty, was after the gospel singing and the screaming, they landed in Dallas so police could remove the woman. It's unclear if the woman was actually removed, though, on the video. It didn't appear that anyone was injured, but it definitely caused a lot of mixed emotions in the cabin. I would say so. So I was thinking about this video and seeing it. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to fly with people anymore. But I am not quite sure that I'm ready for people to fly themselves. In a quest for a breakthrough in air and ground transportation, Samson Sky's new Switchblade flying car has successfully taken its first flight. Are you ready for flying cars? It's a 3-wheeled, street legal vehicle, which requires a private pilot's license to fly and a driver or motorcycle license to drive. It goes 500 feet in the air. It did this above Grant County Airport in Washington. It was airborne for about 6 minutes. Hold on, I got a video for you guys here. Let me share this with you. Now, I don't like flying like with a professional pilot. I'm not quite sure I want to do this, but here it is.
Sam Bowersfield joins me now. Sam,
look at that.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, hold on. I want to see the beginning again.
I think we're going to show this. Look
there
at
you
that.
go.
Now that is a flying car taking off for the first time ever. Yes, it is the Switchblade, and its designer Sam Bowersfield joins me now.
Now,
Sam,
this is my question: are the wings detachable? Because there's no way that thing is going to be able to get in between the lanes. I was hoping they were going to show more videos of it. Here we go.
Require for takeoff and landing, full-scale airport.
Yeah, you know, we designed this thing to be used now. I mean, the future with all the vertical takeoffs, you know, they have to build little landing places, but we have 5,000 airports in the U.S., so we can go ahead and utilize that underutilized airport infrastructure and be ready now.
Okay, when can we get delivery? If I really want one, when can I take delivery and use it and fly?
Well, we start production in about 2 years. As Elon Musk says, getting in production is the biggest nut to crack. And that's what
there it is. Okay, so without the wings right there.
At the scale we have for the demand we're seeing.
Where's your money coming from? Where's the money coming from?
For our investment, you mean?
No, I mean, it takes some money to put this thing together. Where did that money come from?
Sure. We had it's an interesting path there, but the short version is we started it, my wife and I. First bit went to friends and family as the next, and then we just had to find our way through. It ended up being debt financing for a little bit at early stages when the economy was just going crazy, ups and downs, and then lately now it's equity finance.
Last one. Does it have a parachute? And that's not a joke. I'm serious here. Does it have a parachute?
No.
No.
A lot of people are. We're very proud that we put in an option for a full vehicle parachute for the vehicle, so that you could use that in case you really need to.
A parachute is optional. That's very interesting.
Yeah, I would say so. The parachute would be a requirement. It would be definitely something that I would need. Now, Ron says he'd like one. They fold back. I did see in a better picture of it. They do fold back. But I love Harry's. Just imagine 101 during rush hour and everyone wants to take off. I don't feel like people similar. I'm going to make this analogy. Similar to guns. Not everybody should have one. I don't think everybody should have access to a flying car. People are crappy drivers. Absolutely crappy drivers on the ground.
Can you imagine all the power light cords and wires that'll be run into the power poles. Bam.
No, Ren's like, ground driving is getting worse. I can't even imagine a bunch of people flying around. Although I will say it sounds fun. I mean, no, I don't know if obviously it's not going to be economical for everyone to buy it.
You would have to have a pilot's license to fly.
Yeah, you have to have a pilot's license and a motorcycle or something to drive. You have to have a car license or a motorcycle license, which is obvious. It's a car. But yeah. So how much do you think this Switchblade goes for? Guess.
Right now, when they're kind of
according
prototypes?
to their website, yes.
I'm going to say $500,000. 300,000.
Estimated price is way less than that.
Really?
Yeah, $170,000.
Oh, I'll just run right out tomorrow. Excellent.
Exactly. So it flies up to 200 miles per hour through the air. And then, of course, we'll drive on the ground as well. So that's the Switchblade, the original. The estimated price of the Switchblade Special, which makes it a little bit more comfortable, is $330,000. And then if you want the Switchblade Limited, which has, leather interior, carpeting. I don't know what else. I don't know what they come with if it doesn't have carpet on the inside. Smart glass windows, security devices. That's $770,000. So it can go up, but that's still pretty good.
This is true, Ron. There's several airlines are opening up their own academies, and also this isn't the first. This isn't the only company who's doing this. Right. So I don't know.
I don't want it. I'm not in the mood for that. Let's just get cars to be safer down on the ground. Now, I was reading this, speaking of cars on the ground, I was reading this article in the Mercury News. And was this an opinion? No, it just was in the business section. And they was talking about how to get more people into electric vehicles. And I know that some people don't want electric vehicles. I like my hybrid. I feel like it's the best of both worlds, right? Like I never really have to worry about running out of a charge if I'm going on a long trip, and I get really, really, really good gas mileage, which can always get better, of course. Now, they were saying if you want to boost electric vehicle sales, there's one simple thing that you could do. Pay people to turn in their combustible engine cars. There's one person out of the Colorado Energy Office that's the architect of Colorado's vehicle exchange program. They hand out a rebate of up to $6,000 to anyone who buys a new electric vehicle while surrendering a combustion engine car. It launched in August and saw 45 people cash in their car by the end of September. How much would it cost you to give up your combustible engine, gas-powered car for an EV? Now, you'd have to buy the EV, but would $6,000 be enough for you? I feel like people will really want to hold on to those cars. They want both. Like, I might buy an electric vehicle, but I don't want to lose completely my gas-powered car just yet.
I guess it depends on how much your gas-powered car is worth. If I had an old jalopy, if I had a raggedy old car and I was looking to upgrade anyway, then why not?
Now, Joe Blow, you're obviously wrong here. Joe Blow says Toyota quit making EVs. It literally just came out with a headline the other day that it's Camry, the best-selling car in America, is going to be hybrid. It's not a fully electric vehicle, but it's a hybrid. So I don't think that Toyota is moving completely away from it. My concern with a fully electric car is one, the infrastructure, right? The charging stations, even though California is committed to putting more up, working with Tesla to make their superchargers fit all cars, all electric cars, right? The infrastructure is not there yet, though. I will argue that not even the range is there yet for most people. And there is, of course, the problem with PG&E and charging these friggin' cars in California. I'm talking about, of course. Until we get all of those and make it economical, not just to buy the car, but to charge the car, I think hybrids are
what?
PG&E is calling me right now.
Oh, what do they want? Let's take the call on the air.
I mean, I literally just paid my bill. Should I take the call?
Sure, let's do it.
Let's
Speakerphone, please. Let's do it.
Hello? Hello? Oh, it's recorded. Hold on.
Hi, you can save your rates.
This is Pacific Gas and Electric. Calling to let you know that beginning next week, we will be working overnight to perform gas system.
Oh, fabulous. So they're going to turn off my friggin' gas probably. I was like, is PG&E listening to me right now? I was like, that was weird, right? That was totally weird. But yeah, I think that it's a phony call. No, it literally said
Nikki
PG&E,
Medoro,
which means I put that
please
number
stop
in
talking about us on the air.
Exactly. Like, we know how much you hate us. Absolutely. It is
Message
very
received.
Thank you. We are going to be doing gas work and be a pain in your ass all of the time. But no, unless charging my electric vehicle is economical, I'm not buying one. If I'm still working with PG&E, I'm not paying those rates to charge my car. I don't have solar. I rent, so I can't do that. If I live in an apartment or a school, they're screwing us that way too. And again, next month, we hope to bring Loretta Lynch back to talk about all things PG&E because she is the expert as the former president of the CPUC.
Well, they just raised our rates. What was it, 13.8%?
Yeah, 13%.
Why don't we just round up to 14%?
Why don't we just round up to 20? You know what? If we're at 20, why not round up to 50?
And so now you want me to charge in a car and pay even extra to PG&E?
Yeah, no thank you.
And you're taking away the incentives to allow me to put in solar or anything else? Forget it. It's not a racket.
It is. And I'm so glad that you called it that because it is totally a racket. And I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit. Talk a little bit about politics. Did you see this? I think this came out yesterday. A federal judge says that Pennsylvania mail-in ballots will still count or should still count, even if they're dated incorrectly. Now, you'll remember Republicans had wanted the ballots thrown out after then President Donald Trump baselessly claimed in 2020 that mail balloting was rife with fraud. I remember when this was happening, and I had made a statement that I still kind of believe, but you guys let me know if I'm off base here. Look, people have their concerns about mail-in balloting. I think that they're not, I think there are enough safeguards in place to make it so we should trust in our mail-in balloting system. I do. Hands down, I mail in my ballot every year. Until Trump, nobody was, there wasn't as loud of a call that it's, oh my God, so much fraud, right? It's just that Democrats largely like to mail in their ballots. Republicans like to vote day of. And so there's always this change in close races. I also believe that there's a bar that people have to reach when they vote. You have to sign your ballot. You have to date your ballot. You have to put the right address on it. You have to follow the rules on the ballot. And if you cannot do that, if that is just a problem for you, then sorry, we can't continue to say that these are the rules to vote and then let it slide, because then we're just going to hear a louder chorus of people saying, see, these are the rules and you're not even following the rules. And I not that I'm against this. I do think that, if everything else is correct and it's just the outside ballot date that's wrong, it's not that big of a deal, right? I do think that you need to sign your ballot. I do think that you need to fill it out correctly. I do think that if you bubble more than one thing, you've messed up. You should go to the day of and get a new preliminary ballot and fill it out. Now, mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania without accurate handwritten dates on the exterior of the envelope must still be counted if they are received in time. Now, this obviously has implications for the next presidential election in Pennsylvania, which is a battleground state. Also, where Democrats have been far more likely to vote by mail than Republicans. That is something that's going to be really interesting to watch this election. Is even though Republicans have been saying and Donald Trump has been saying, vote in person the day of, there is a not so quiet changing of the narrative from Republicans to now mail in their ballots. My concern, of course, is are our safeguards in place enough? Because and it's been in the news, often, not always, but often when someone's found to have been voting twice or, voting in two different states or whatever, it was a Trumper, right? I mean, it's like they're trying to prove their own friggin' point. Now, the judge was a Trump appointee, sided with several Pennsylvania groups represented by the ACLU, which argued that refusing to count ballots with the wrong date because of a trivial paperwork error disenfranchises voters and violates provisions of the U.S. Civil Rights Act of 1964, which states that immaterial errors or omissions should not be used to prevent voting. What do you think? I mean, is this something that is not that big of a deal? Because again, I'm so done with the argument. Eric says the only concern about mail-in voting is a spouse filling out the ballot for someone, spouse or other family member. Okay. Let's see. James says the simple solution to voter ID is to register a thumbprint and then you just stamp your ballot. That's an interesting idea, James. How do you feel about, and again, for people like, what about my privacy? I don't want them to have my fingerprint. Valid. I would say that's a valid concern, right? Like, can my fingerprint be used for anything else? But the amount of personal information we give constantly, does it hold that much water? I don't know. The thumbprint's easy because you don't have to go out anywhere to get an ID, right? It's literally on your thumb.
Do you not have to give a thumbprint when you get a driver's license?
Ooh, good point. Good point. So they already have your thumbprint.
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
That's an excellent point, Kim.
Unless you're not a driver, right?
But what if what if you don't have arms? What do you use then? What if you're a quadriplegic, or not a quadriplegic, but like a double amputee?
You don't have arms.
Well, that's true. There's people in this world that have no arms. What do you use then?
Well, I mean, I'm sure that you would qualify under the Americans with Disabilities Act. There must be some provision for folks that, have no thumbprint left.
Right. Yeah. I mean, what if you lost your thumbs in some sort? I mean, I'm assuming a fingerprint would work.
Well, that's probably not going to be the common issue. I mean, I would imagine that
people don't have arms in this world. I mean, it's
pretty
not
low
uncommon.
Percentage.
It's not uncommon. I mean, I know people without legs. I know people without arms. I mean, usually it's one arm. Yes, I know. Yeah. It's usually one arm. But I'm just saying, and I'm not being flippant. This is a reality, right? If you use some sort of body part as identification, now you could use your toe print, right? Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I feel like voting should be made easier. It should just be easy to cast our ballots. Now, I'm all for safeguards. I'm all for checks and balances. And if you want, a recount, it definitely has to, there has to be a threshold for it, because that would take forever. But counting every single ballot by hand is not feasible.
Have you seen that? This isn't going to be a popular statement. I probably should just close my mouth, but here it goes anyway. Have you seen the Trumpy rallies, where the people are that show up are talked to by a reporter, and they just seem like the dumbest box of rocks you've ever laid eyes on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And now you tell me that this is a Trump appointed judge who's doing an about face and saying, oh, no. It doesn't matter if they have a date. Do you think it's because the new Republican voter isn't all that bright? And so maybe their ballots in the last election were rife with problems. And so now Republicans are thinking, maybe we need to change this up a little bit.
I think that they're looking at how people like to vote also. I mean, it's easy to mail in your ballot. And again, this whole narrative of voter fraud and, oh my God, and that stupid mockumentary that what's his face did, apparently showing fraud when it wasn't. It's dumb. And I definitely think that people are going to be paying attention so much more closely from here into the near future on these elections. Not that we haven't before, but it's just now there's just this spotlight on every single step of the election, which is all right. We should know the election process and everything like that. It shouldn't lead to threats. It shouldn't lead to conspiracy theories. It should be dealt with facts and reality.
Yeah.
Donald says somehow transfer iris scan to a device that can be used to stamp the ballot.
Now that's a little bit of invasion of my privacy. I don't want the government to have my scan of my iris.
But I mean, when you open your phone has it.
No, I have a password protected thing.
You don't use Face ID at all on anything?
Mm-mm.
Oh, look at you. Okay, I do.
I mean, I just chose it to be the other way. I didn't.
I have a code. I have both because I don't want my kids going in my phone.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because every time they want to open the phone, they try to put my phone in front of my face, And I always wink my eye or I do something so it doesn't work. I'm like, nope, you don't get to go into my phone. Bite mark. That's hilarious. What did you just have? Hold on. Bring it back.
John, another stupid thing so many right-wingers do is to think Trump is so much more popular than he is. The only viable candidate is that less popular than Joe Biden is Donald Trump. And that's why they lose.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of different things. I mean, what would you be willing to give up of your very personal information? What about DNA?
No.
So
I won't I won't even do an Ancestry 23andMe thing. Forget it.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, what about a mouth swab? What about licking it?
No.
Drop of blood. A drop of blood.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Although, I mean, if you're an identical twin, that wouldn't work, right? So
no one needs my DNA. That's my business.
James says you already leave your fingerprints on everything you touch. That's not private at all. That's true, but it's the will. I don't know. Is voting a civic duty that's worth giving a little bit of your information, your personal information for? I mean, it is very important. It's a very important thing.
By the time the envelope gets to wherever it needs to be, I assume that not only have I touched it, the people that sent it to me touched it.
Right.
Right. The people that are accepting it touched it. The people at the polling place touched it. So it's probably so degraded by the time it gets there that maybe you wouldn't know. I don't know.
Yeah. John says, Kim, facial recognition is already captured at the DMV. And Lori corrects us. Face ID is not an iris scan. I thought there was something to do with the eyes, though. I thought there had to be like life behind the eyes. That's what I thought.
Lights behind the eyes?
Life. Like you can't pull out somebody's eyeball and use it. Like you have to. No, or you can't like make a mask of somebody's face or something. You have to actually have life behind the eyes. No, I thought it was. This is me just making crap up, I guess.
What are you watching a movie? Lights behind the eyes.
No, life, like alive. Like you can't just be like dead. So nobody can be dead, and you could take their phone.
Well, it depends on how dead you are, because if someone's eyeball was just freshly plucked, then it would still have blood in it, right?
I don't know.
I mean, it would still be.
I don't know how facial recognition works.
I mean, I don't know how long it takes for your eyeball to be like degraded to the point where it wouldn't work.
Light inside the body somehow. Not life. Like you have to be alive. I don't think facial recognition works on dead people. That's what I thought. Maybe I just saw it in a movie somewhere.
But there's a difference between facial recognition, which is like they look at your face and it looks like symmetry, right? It kind of measures everything and knows who you are in the system, versus iris scanning. That's different.
Okay, fine. Maybe I do. Maybe my movie watching and my reality have just blended way too much.
There has to be life behind the eyes.
I thought that was, you know what? I still maintain that there has to be.
Good times right there.
Just in case I murder somebody, I can steal their phone and use it. Okay. All right. What else are we going to talk about today? I want to talk about so many fun things. Let's do a couple of headlines, and then we're going to have some Thanksgiving debates. Okay. There was 2 questions that I saw online that I wanted your guys' take on. One has to do with cooking. And I do want to say thank you to Debbie. I don't know, Debbie, if you're here right now. Debbie sent me a pumpkin cheesecake recipe.
I wanted
yesterday.
that recipe. She was talking about
Okay,
that.
good. I'll send it to you. She sent it to me. So thank you. But I want to talk about secret recipes. Do you have a secret recipe? And how many people know it? Okay. And then anybody in the comments, are you anticipating meeting somebody's significant other for the very first time? Or are you planning on bringing somebody to holiday dinner that you're newly dating? And how soon is too soon to bring someone to a holiday dinner? If anybody has any fun stories or funny stories about the first time your family met your significant other, or you met your child's significant other, let me know, because I'm trying to remember. I've dated my husband for so long, I can't actually remember the first instinct. I just know that when I started dating my husband this time, you know, we were in our 20s. And he was a white boy with dreadlocks. You know what I mean? So I don't know what my parents were thinking.
What did your dad? Did you ever talk to your dad? Like, what did you think when I brought him home?
Oh, I'll share that story. Yeah, absolutely. To use the hip slang, my husband had a big glow up. Let's just say in my father's eyes from when we first started dating, which is really funny. But you guys share it in the comments, because this is the time of year where you have to decide. Am I bringing my partner, maybe they're new, maybe they're not so new, to the holiday dinner? And who do you warn? Do you warn the family, or do you warn your significant other? Which is going to be harder? All right, click the thumbs up button. Show your support for the show, please. And thank you. And here's some headlines.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
All right, a temporary ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is set to take effect. The two sides agreed to a deal that would call for the release of at least 50 hostages held captive by Hamas and the release of 150 Palestinian prisoners being held in Israeli jails as well. In addition, trucks will be allowed into Gaza to bring in fuel and medical supplies. So that's what we know so far.
Well, that's good.
Travelers in the mid-Atlantic and along the eastern seaboard can expect some severe weather today, and it is one of the biggest travel days of the year. Heavy rain and winds are expected to disrupt travel from Virginia to Massachusetts. Forecasters believe the weather will clear up in time for Thanksgiving and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
And that's something that I don't watch. I think I've mentioned that before.
You need to, because we have a listener viewer that
really?
is a tap dancing Christmas tree in the parade.
I think you mentioned this. Okay. Damn it. I lost my. Okay.
And I forget her name right now, but I bet she's winging her way back there, probably dealing with the travel delays.
Christmas tree.
She's a tap dancing Christmas tree, part of the tap dancing Christmas tree group. And so we have to support her in this, and we have to watch it and clap and pause when she comes on and clap for her.
I just don't find watching balloons on television entertaining. I've never, ever been like, turn on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Some kind of communist?
Never.
This is so American.
Never.
You got to bring it.
No, it sounds.
And then you have Santa arriving at the very end, signaling the arrival of the Christmas holiday.
Oh, stop. He was already on Wall Street today. He rang the opening bell along with Macy's people to do this thing. I don't find it entertaining. I have no comprehension of people. Now, has it been in the background? Have it been flipping through and maybe somebody stopped it there? Yeah. Have I, in my sanity, ever been like, I'm gonna get a cup of coffee, my cozy blanket, curl up and watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? Never, ever in my life have I done that. No, sorry. Is that bad?
Well,
is that not American? Should I turn my American card?
This year you need to.
Well, look for the Christmas. Well, gee, I don't want to make
promises.
I'm not gonna. What time does it start?
I think it's in the morning, isn't it?
Well, it should be in the morning.
Yeah, because
on later than that, right?
You watch it while you're getting everything ready.
No,
it's Johann. It's Johann. Yeah,
Johann. Okay.
Johann Dichter. She is the one who is the tap dancing Christmas tree.
And do we know, like, do we have any other details besides the fact that she's a tap dancing Christmas tree? Like, is it at the beginning, the middle, the end? Is it with a certain balloon? Do I have to keep my eye out on this thing all day? Like, no.
We don't know exactly where her exhibit falls within the placement of the Thanksgiving Day Parade.
You're telling me that you expect? No, I'm gonna abdicate and delegate that to you, my friend.
You just leave it on, and then when you hear the announcer say, "It's the tap dancing Christmas trees," you think to yourself, there she is.
Is that her?
That's her. She sent a picture.
Is that what she's wearing?
That's the tap dancing Christmas tree suit.
Okay, then done. Okay, I'll keep my eye out for that. I will. I'll promise. I'll keep my eye out. I don't know. I mean, am I going to sit down and watch the whole damn thing? No, but if they make the announcement, I'm going to run to my TV and I'll take a picture. If you do it, if anybody is watching the Macy's Christmas Day Parade, look for Johann.
Thanksgiving Day Parade, yeah.
Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Yeah.
Take a picture, send it in, and we'll give her love on Monday when we're back live. Please, please, and thank you. Okay?
I mean, it's exciting to be in there. And plus, all the marching bands are kind of cool. They have a lot of dance troops. All the performances are kind of already pre-recorded. So,
so
whatever.
This isn't even friggin' live? This isn't even live? Is that what you just said?
Well, it is live, but it's also, they're on floats. So it'd probably be hard to sing.
I would only watch if the balloons are going to break off and people are going to run and chaos. That's it. It has to become a horror movie or I don't want to watch it.
Wait, you know what? Watch it once in your life. Once in your godforsaken life, watch the parade and see what you think.
Damn it, Nikki, just do it. That's boring. It's not football. That's for damn sure. I'll be watching a lot of football tomorrow, but I'll see.
Johann, I'm going to watch you, and I hope you tap dance your sweet little heart out there on the streets of New York.
I'm all for that. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. You know what? I might surprise you. I might not.
Our people, listen, we got Flo winning awards over there in New York. We got Johann tap dancing her heart out in the parade.
I like that. I'm going to keep my eye out for that. But I'm going to watch
awesome.
The whole thing. I know. They're all talented and stuff. Look at you guys.
I know.
That's awesome.
U.S. Central Command says 2 airstrikes were launched today against Iran-backed facilities in Iraq. The airstrikes were in retaliation for reported attacks against U.S. forces stationed in Iraq. Several American soldiers or troop members received non-serious or not life-threatening injuries after a close-range ballistic missile was fired at a U.S. airbase. A New England city appears to be the most popular relocation destination for millennials. Nearly 38% of the population of Cambridge, Massachusetts is made up of millennials. That's a lot.
Interesting. Okay.
The next 2 cities with the highest rate of millennials moving in are both here on the West Coast. Santa Clara, California.
Whoop, whoop.
Because they're all going to the tech jobs, right? And Seattle, Washington, because again, they're all going to the tech jobs.
Okay. So you said the number 1 was Cambridge, Massachusetts?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what the cost of living in Cambridge, Massachusetts is. Let's see. Hold on. I'm Googling this. I'm like, but it's too cold. I could never live there. Is it expensive? Cambridge is the second most expensive. Oh, no, that's not. Hold on. 73% higher than the national average. Okay. So it's very expensive to live there. Okay. Thank you. Never mind.
The CDC is not sharing any Thanksgiving recipes, but the health agency is providing safety tips for the holiday. Be sure the turkey is completely thawed before cooking and set the that's what I would do. I would think, well, it'll thaw in the oven. Like the heat will make it thaw, right?
You would think that?
I don't cook. That's why. They don't let me in the kitchen.
Yeah, no.
They let me in when it's time to clean. That's it.
And listen, if you're going to deep fry your turkey, make sure it is completely dry. Inside and out. There should be no water. Do not have any wetness on that turkey.
Really?
Or you are gonna. When you put anything wet in hot
in a
oil,
fry,
it
spitting.
explodes.
Yeah.
It explodes. Yeah.
You know that show, The Worst Cook in America?
Yes, I love that show.
My husband thinks I should apply for that show.
How rude.
He's not being rude. He's right. He's right. He's not. It's not rude. I mean, I wouldn't do it. Because, who wants to showcase themselves in that light?
It is funny, though. It is a funny show.
I'm completely ignorant of things like this. I mean, I just don't care. And because I told you why. I tried to cook him spaghetti when we were dating. Remember the story?
How do you mess up spaghetti?
That's what he said. I had him over for dinner at the beginning of our relationship. And I said, I'm going to cook for you. And I made spaghetti. One of the few things I thought I knew how to make. I was very confident in my spaghetti making abilities. I cooked the noodles. Apparently, I overcooked the noodles.
Okay.
When they stuck to the wall, flick them at the wall. When they stick, it's done. And then I put noodles on each plate. I poured on the ragu sauce.
Okay.
Then I put one plate in the microwave and put it on the table. And then I put the other plate in the microwave and put it on the table to heat up the ragu sauce. Right? You pour it on cold out of the bottle over the noodles.
Why would you do that?
Well, because the microwave would heat the sauce up. Why would I get a pan dirty?
Well, why wouldn't you just heat up the sauce before you put it on the noodles?
Well, because the noodles were already hot. So all I need to do is heat up the sauce when I pour it on and put it in the microwave.
What happened, my friend? What happened?
I served it and he watched this whole thing unfold and we sat down to eat. And he goes, listen.
This is wrong.
This is not how you make spaghetti. And from now on, I think I'll be the one cooking.
There you go, done.
This was the last time I ever cooked a meal in this relationship.
See, I think
so
you
for
had,
my,
I think you had a plan the whole time.
It wasn't, but it was brilliant.
Yes.
Like I couldn't have planned it out any better. From that day to this, the whole marriage, more than 20 years, he cooks everything. Now, the problem is he's like, if I die, how are you going to feed the kids?
You're just going to get DoorDash all the time, apparently.
He taught them how to cook.
Oh, well, look at that. So they don't have your gene.
So it's when they move away, then I'm in trouble.
Why doesn't he teach you how to? Why don't you don't want to learn?
I have no interest in cooking. This is not my purview. No.
So you feel about cooking the way I feel about the Thanksgiving Day parade. I see how it is. You have zero desire. Zero desire. Okay.
But you know what's interesting? I enjoy baking.
Baking is fun. I like cooking. I do. I like cooking.
There's a difference
I don't cook a lot.
between cooking and baking, right?
Well, there's a difference in the food that comes out. Yes, absolutely.
Well, baking, you follow the directions specifically. Like everything is written out for you. Cooking, like people are throwing in this and a little dash of that.
They can get creative, but you can follow a recipe to a T when you cook too.
There's like a dance of, what you cook and what's ready when. And so it's all ready at the same time and all these things. I don't have the skill.
Yeah.
No.
I made my lobster roll for the first time.
How did that
yesterday.
go?
I forgot to take a picture of it. It was really good. He really liked it. I messed up. The only thing I messed up was I didn't get the chives and the dill that I meant to get to kind of top
Yeah.
it. So it wasn't bland, but just it reminded me because it says 2 cloves of garlic. No, I put
Yeah.
so much more garlic than that. I butter poached it. I got Kerrygold Irish butter, so I made it like the yummy butter. I buttered the rolls and toasted them in the oven. He loved it. He said it was so good. I didn't overcook the
You're
lobster.
so sweet.
It was bomb. And at the same time, and the other thing that you wouldn't be able to do is I made 2 different dinners at the exact same time because the kids did not want lobster. They wanted salmon. So I'm making salmon in my cast iron
Look
and I'm
at
making
you.
lobster on the pan. I made
You
a mess
are
basically.
the
But
woman.
yeah.
You are the woman.
I like cooking. My
Yeah.
parents make fun of me though because they know I can cook, but especially when I was working in San Francisco, I didn't want to come home and cook. But now that I'm home and I'm trying to save money as well, even though I know grocery prices, it is still cheaper. You go to the restaurant, you're spending a ton of money. But yeah, I made a really nice dinner. Tonight, I don't know. I don't want to cook anything tonight. I think we're going to get, I don't know, Chinese food or something because I am not cooking anything that's going to be in my fridge. I need my fridge to be empty for tomorrow. So yeah.
Yeah. I sound like a completely inept person, but
it's okay to not cook. It's okay.
I just really respect people like you who can cook and do these things the same way I respect people that can sew and create things.
Yes.
I mean, that's what a skill to have.
If
This
you
is
could
amazing.
sew, I'm so jealous of you. If you can make your own clothes, so jealous. I love it.
Well, anyway, the CDC says to refrigerate leftovers within 2 hours of cooking and to finish eating all the leftovers within 3 to 4 days. Do you need to put things in the fridge if your house is colder than the refrigerator?
I know, right? I'm comfy now, though. We usually make soup. So whatever leftover turkey there is, my husband will make a big batch of soup, which I love. Like I look forward to it every year because it's so cozy and warm because we're going to be gone Friday and Saturday. So Sunday we'll probably just come home, pull out that carcass, start, boiling it up and make that soup.
AARP, as you mentioned yesterday, is going to a party like a rock star.
Yeah, buddy. The Stones.
Organization commonly associated with retirement is going to be the official sponsor of the Rolling Stones' recently announced North American tour. The Hackney Diamonds Tour kicks off April 28th in Houston. The question is, will a crowd be full of gray-haired people?
Yes, they will.
You think so? It's all old people there?
Well,
no young people?
My parents have seen the Stones. I've never seen the Stones. I hear they still rock it. I mean, you know what I mean?
I saw them in Oakland. Really good.
Yeah, exactly. So if it's a good concert, why not? You know what I'm bummed that was postponed because he was having, I think, vocal issues was the Aerosmith concert. I don't know the latest on that, but I want to see Aerosmith. But yeah, I mean, I have great hair and I would go see him. So hell yeah.
At least there's no mosh pit. People don't want to wake up sore the next day. I don't know.
Maybe they are pushing. They're like hitting each other with their canes and walkers and crap. Who knows? Who knows?
This is a interesting one. I don't know if you're going to go see movies on this Thanksgiving Day holiday weekend.
I would love to, but probably not.
But Napoleon, they say, is firing the first shot. Ha ha. At the weekend box office, Ridley Scott's historical drama earned $3 million from preview showings on Tuesday. The total besting Disney's new animated film Wish, which brought in $2.3 million from previews. Wish, though, is expected to take the top spot over the long Thanksgiving weekend by earning between $45 and $50 million. Napoleon projected to rake in $22 million over the 5 days. So we'll see which one does better.
I do want to see Thanksgiving, which is the scary movie about Thanksgiving, but I don't think I'm going to go. I don't have any time this weekend. We're going to be gone, and Sunday I want to decorate and chill and have soup and watch more football and do all those things. So no, I don't think. Maybe next weekend. My daughter's going to go back and see Hunger Games again today.
She
with
liked
her
it.
friends. Well, her friends want to go see it. She saw it with us, so she's going to go see it with them. So yeah, I think she's just going to see the main character.
You might be the perfect wife.
Why?
Well,
I am not. I'll just lead with this. Nope, not.
I think you might be the perfect wife. Here she is, cooks.
I do.
She likes to watch football.
I do.
Right? She likes the scary movies.
I do.
Doesn't shy away from the camping and the digging of holes.
I don't. I don't want to, though. Let me get this straight. I don't want to. And no, I love that you say that. I'm the biggest pain in the ass ever. My husband will attest to this. I'm big ol'. I'm a lover, and I'm a friggin' nag and a pain in the butt. I have my flaws, my friend, but thank you so much for thinking that I'm.
I think
really
you might be.
wife.
Like, I feel really like I pale in comparison.
Not
honestly.
even close. Not even close. Not
This
even close.
report, as we look at Johann, is sponsored by you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for all the ways you guys have contributed and participated in the show over the last year. Each and every one of you, whether you monetarily donate or not, I am incredibly thankful for each and every one of you helping to make this show what it is. Whether you're just showing up for us every day and being here and participating and hanging out, or whether you're contributing financially to the show, which we need to keep doing it, I'm grateful. You can find us at thenikkimedoroshow.com. That's where all the links are. You probably know by now. Patreon, PayPal, it's all there. And we thank you. Whatever you can do, even if that's just hanging out, thank you, thank you. I'm Kim McAllister. This is the Nikki Medoro Show.
And I want to give some thank yous, and we'll do them again at the end of the show. But Flo donated $5, and I directed Charles White's Unentitled, written by Charles White. The run was sold out, did not win, but very glad to be recognized.
Yay.
The red carpet was cool. That is so. I've always wanted to walk a red carpet, but I'd be afraid that everyone would be like, moving along. Who's this? Like waiting
what
for
a
like
dream.
some big celebrity. But that's congratulations. That is huge.
Imagine jetting off from your job as a drama teacher,
right?
And you go off to New York to direct a big show.
Yeah.
And then you get nominated for a big award. What a dream come true.
Congratulations, Flo. That's awesome. Doug, thank you so much for the $10 super sticker as well.
Yay.
Janet coming in with $50. You were
Janet.
so generous. Nikki and Kim are the best, cracking up at the face recognition discussion. Have a great Thanksgiving. I still maintain. You know what? You guys haven't convinced me that I'm wrong. Sorry. I'm going to still hold on to the fact that you have to be alive for face recognition to work. I just do. Harry, thank you so much for the $10 donation. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope the Niners tap dance their way to a victory.
Yep.
Me too, my friend. Me too. It's definitely going to put some cold water on my Thanksgiving if they lose tomorrow. I will be completely honest. I will not be happy, but I'll deal with it. And Donald, thank you for the $25 donation. Nikki and Kim, here's a little something to help pay for the Thanksgiving energy bill. Thank you.
We need that. Absolutely.
Are you going to turn your heat on tomorrow, Kim?
It kind of already went on.
Yeah. What do you have it set at?
I think it's 68. I want to say.
I think I did mine around 67.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm basking in its heat. I can't have it be 58 degrees.
Have you noticed though that I'm wearing the same sweater every day? Have you not noticed this?
I haven't, because I don't judge women on what they wear. But
it's like I'm Mr. Rogers. I keep the sweater in my office. Like after the
she
show,
hides it around her beautiful
take
hair.
it off. Yeah, I'm trying to don't notice that I'm wearing the same sweater. But it's my office sweater. So when I sit down in the office chair, it's chilly in here. I put on my office sweater. Yeah. So I'm wearing the same thing every day.
Okay, hold on. Square says, try closing your eyes next time, Nikki, and log in. On my phone? My phone will not open, I do not believe, if my eyes are not open. Right? It will not open. Are you ready?
Haven't you ever seen an episode of CSI where they snap a picture of the dead person's face?
There needs to be life. I believe. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Well, this doesn't really prove my point, even if my eyes are closed. But let's just see. Okay, so my phone is off.
Okay.
I'm gonna close my eyes, but I'm gonna press the side button so it opens to see, and then I'm gonna try to swipe up so you guys can see this happen. Okay, so if you're listening, this is obviously not very okay. So my eyes are closed. And I'm hitting the side. There's my Matthew McConaughey. I'm going to try to sweep up. Is it open? Did it open?
There's a brighter.
That's brighter, but it's not open. Hold on. Let's try it again. Eyes closed. No. Is it still the same? Is Matthew still there?
No.
It doesn't work. Oh, no, it did work. Shit. Sorry. No, I think I do. Hold on. Let me try that again.
Oh.
I'm telling you, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So here it is. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm looking at my phone. Let's see if it opened. No, it did not open. It did not open.
Right now, all the people at Apple are totally cracking up because there's a bunch of guys that work in the QA test division that had to do exactly that.
I'm just saying, people, whatever. I love it. I love all of you. You guys are cracking me up. Okay, so let's do some debates. We were talking about food. Mm-hmm. Here's the question. Well, I know you don't cook, Kim. Does David have a secret recipe for anything?
Nothing is secret, and he's teaching the kids everything.
Okay.
But I will say, I have never had better mashed potatoes than he makes.
Ooh,
And
what's
the
the secret?
secret ingredient is a little bit of sugar.
I think you've told me that before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I could add, like, I don't know. Oh, maybe.
It
I'm not
they
making the
are
mashed potatoes this year. So
so good. Like, they are so good that if I was going to die, my last request would be, I want just a bowl of these mashed potatoes.
interesting.
Yes.
That would
They're
be like
so
the last
good.
meal. Okay. So a
Yeah.
little bit of sugar. The reason why I'm asking is I think it was it the Today Show? One of those shows was debating this. They said if you had a secret recipe
Mm-hmm.
and someone close to you, not in your family, let's say like a good friend or even an acquaintance, whatever, and they've eaten it before, and they asked you for the recipe, would you give it to them? Like,
Yeah.
how secret would you make your secret? Really?
We don't have any secret family recipes. Like, there's nothing handed down generation to generation that's like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't have any secret recipes, but I know people that have a secret cookie recipe, right? Or something like that. Or they have a special seasoning that they do on some sort of meat or chicken or something like that. I'm not going
Yeah.
to tell you what the secret ingredient is that is.
No.
It's really good. Would you, if you did, one of the answers was if I had a secret recipe and somebody asked me for it and I wanted to say no, I didn't want to give it up, I would just make them. Like if it was a pie, I'd make them the pie and that they could bring to them. I'm like, I don't know if I would do that either.
No.
No, I don't. But I don't think that I would have to share my secret recipe. I mean, isn't that the point of having
If
something
it's a
that like
secret, it's a
only you
secret.
make?
Yeah.
Only I make it. I make it the way I make it. Let's see. Velma says, I cook, but not all that except for special dishes, which I learned from my mother. Those turn out. I love when a man can cook. Yes. My husband can cook pretty well too, but I don't have anything that's a secret recipe. I feel like I should perhaps come up with something.
My stepmother shares recipes for all the things that she makes that I like, but no one can make it like she does, interestingly.
Yes.
And it's the simplest things. She makes this breakfast dish that's like, I think all it is scrambled eggs and potatoes, but whatever
Okay.
it is, the ratio that she uses, it just doesn't taste as good unless she makes it. And then she makes this tuna salad sandwich mix, and she uses her food processor to kind of create this tuna fish sandwich filling.
Ugh, I don't like tuna fish.
I know, I don't usually either, but damn it if it isn't so good.
Really?
And can't recreate it. Yeah.
No, my mom was having a tuna fish sandwich just the other day, and she's like, "Would you like half?" I don't think I could have faked vomiting even ever asked her. I was like, "No, I eat raw tuna. Cooked tuna is cat food, in my opinion. Ren says the thing about a secret recipe is that God forbid your recipe box gets destroyed or you die. The recipe will be lost. Share if you want your precious things to come back to you. That's an excellent point. There are things that my grandmother made that we still talk about. Fried chicken. She made the best fried chicken. My mom and I were making, it's this fried cod dish that Puerto Ricans make. It's like a salted cod, but it's fried. It's like, fish and chips, but it's like Puerto Rican style. And it's really good. And we tried making it. Is it the same as my grandmother's? No. But I think it's more of what you just said, Kim. It's the person who makes it and kind of their skill involved in it. Fried chicken is fried chicken. I mean, flour, coating, seasonings. Yes, you might have a little secret tweak here and there, but some people just know. My grandmother made great fried chicken, even like towards the end of her life when she was pretty much blind. She just knew how to cook it. And so those sorts of things are very important. Andrew says
big news. Big news.
What?
Big news. Julia just tested negative.
Yay!
She will be able to come out of her room for Thanksgiving.
Oh, that is so. See, and it didn't even last that long.
Friday
and see,
to today.
Just tell her to keep her mouth covered. You know what I mean?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So that's 6 days.
That's not bad.
She tested negative on the 6th. Yeah.
Less than a week, and she probably had it before that, though. You know what I mean? Like she contracted it. Yay! Congrats. That's something to be thankful for this Thanksgiving.
I think so.
There you go. Andrew says, my Italian mom is an amazing cook. Secret ingredient is usually Crisco. I don't think I've ever cooked with Crisco. I know it's good for fried chicken. I don't think I've ever cooked with like a lard or something like that. But yeah, let's see. Everyone's saying, everybody give Julia a big shout out. Congratulations, Lovey, for not being there anymore. Okay, and one more question for this holiday: how soon did you bring your significant other home for the holidays? How quickly after you started dating David did you start introducing him to your family, Kim?
More than 6 months, I think.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Were you just far away? I mean,
it was a long distance relationship for a while, but
so
also I was kind of keeping him to myself for a while till I.
Oh, you're so funny.
Knew. Yeah.
You're like, I don't know if you. Now, were you nervous about him meeting your family or your family meeting him?
Both.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't think that he was just going to charm the pants off of your family or anything?
No. Listen, I love him so much.
I love it.
He is my guy, but he's a bit of an acquired taste sometimes.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What did your family like him immediately? Sorry, David, but I would assume at this point, you know the truth, my friend. So there you go.
But you know what? He kind of over time
won them over.
You just love him over time. You do.
Okay. So with James, my husband, again, we were teenagers when we started dating, and then we broke up for years. So then when he came back, he got out of the Navy. He started growing out his hair, and he had dreadlocks. They were the worst. And I could say this on air because I told everybody they were the worst. I hated them. But I loved him. And, James has had quite the glow up over years. So at first I don't think my parents really thought that we were going to be that serious. You know what I mean? And we were still pretty young. We were in our 20s, so like 21, 22 years old. But no, my dad, even to this day, admits he adores James. James. Now,
my dad and David get along really well.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, James has definitely won my dad over, and he won him over way long time ago. But yeah, was there definitely who's this white dude with dreadlocks coming in and wanting to date my daughter seriously? No job or working like part time at some BS jobs in your 20s. No, but at the same time. Now, James is one of the hardest working people that I know, which is quite funny. But yeah, he definitely had a glow up. Well, CNN had this whole list. What to do if you are bringing your significant other home for the holidays for the very first time. And the number one thing that they mentioned, which to me seems so obvious, if you are the one being brought or you're giving your significant other advice, do not, under any uncertain terms, show up empty-handed. I would say that that's the rule for anybody if you're being invited to somebody's house, unless they ask you, like, please do not bring food. We have plenty. We don't need anything. You know what I mean? It is just show up with something.
Bottle of wine,
flowers,
hostess gift, something.
Exactly. Something. You have to do it. And then, of course, give each side a heads up. Like, okay, so for instance, if it's David, if there's some sort of idiosyncrasy that he has, give your family a heads up about it. Like, hey, and I'm just going to be honest, like, if he has something like weird physically about him, not that David does, but you know what I mean? Like, don't stare or he does this sort of thing. He has this sort of tick. He likes to talk about this. I don't know. Whatever kind of warning you can give to either side. So for my family, the warning is we're not yelling. We are just loud talkers. Like, just accept it and then move on because we're not yelling at each other. We are just passionate, loud speakers. And I don't even think that I had to warn my family about anything. I would just, usually the joke in my house is it's just be nice. Can you just be nice? Like, let's just be nice to whatever stranger we are welcoming into this chaos that is the Medoro household. Just be nice. And usually that goes a long way. And then if you're not being nice, you get the look and it's like, zip it and we're done. And that sort of thing. But this year it's just going to be my in-laws, my parents, and James, I, and the kids, and myself and the kids. And that's it. So there's no warning. We could all be ourselves watching some football and trying to keep the tone down because that's the most important thing. So there you go. A great story to kind of end the show on. And you tell me if you would be this gentleman. There is a New Hampshire man who was very unassuming. He was the caretaker of a mobile home park in Hinsdale, New Hampshire. He lived a simple but described as curious life. Residents would see Jeffrey Holt around town. He wore, what they describe as threadbare clothes, so not very nice clothes. He would ride his lawnmower all around town, apparently, heading to the convenience store. He would just sit around watching cars pass, doing odd jobs, but barely ever left town. He was the high school driver's ed teacher, but then he gave up driving his car. He opted for a bicycle and then the lawnmower. His mobile home in the park was empty of furniture, no TV, no computer. The legs of the bed went through the floor. Okay, so this was this guy.
So he's living rough.
He died earlier this year, but he died with a secret. He was a multimillionaire.
Wow.
He had $3.8 million. And do you know what he did with the money? He donated it to the town. He donated $3.8 million to the town of Hinsdale to benefit the community in areas of education, health, recreation, and culture. One person that was on the town's chairperson said, I don't think anyone had any idea he was that successful. I know he didn't have a whole lot of family, but nonetheless, to leave it to the town where he lived is a tremendous gift. Let me ask you, Kim McAllister, you love Petaluma.
Yep.
Would you do the same?
No. Okay,
what would you leave behind if you died and had no family? You had no family.
Scroll back
okay.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, if I have no family, no children,
right,
no loved ones, right, no favorite charity,
okay,
then yes, absolutely. I love my town. I would want to make things better here for everyone that lives here and for this community. But that's not the case. So I wouldn't.
Would you ever want a building in Petaluma to have your name on it?
The founders of the town all have streets and buildings named and schools named after them.
Okay.
And so it's nice to remember those families. You know, you kind of their big names in town.
Okay.
But it seems rather ego driven to have a building named after you. It's one of the things we were talking about the other day, which is if you volunteer, do you snap a selfie and post it to say, look at me volunteering, woohoo, look at me giving money to the town. Now I have my name on a building. That kind of takes away the altruistic nature of doing this.
Right.
Are you doing it so that you can be remembered in perpetuity and have your name slapped on the building? Or are you doing it for the good of your community? It doesn't matter whether it's called the Community Center or the Kim Community Center.
I mean, is it called Kim's Convenience? Isn't there a show like that's called that? It's about a convenience store. It's the last name Kim. It's an Asian family. Anyways, I don't think I would mind having a street named after me. Like the K-Mac or the Kimmy Mac street. Like that would be kind of fun, right? If I was passionate about something and it was lacking in my town, I wouldn't mind, but I wouldn't need it. Does that make sense? Like I wouldn't, if I was going to die anyway, I wasn't going to enjoy my name being on the damn building. And if I didn't have any family, then it wouldn't really matter. So I applaud this guy. I just can't imagine being that rich and living so frugally. You know what I mean? Like if the bed legs are going through the floor and you look in your bank account and you have $3.8 million and you're not fixing that, then I think he also had some sort of mental issues, right? Like there was something else going on there, but I applaud him. He was well enough in the mind to make that generous donation. And so I just love it. Be generous this Thanksgiving if you can. You guys have been so generous with myself and with Kim and the show and our entire community that extends to the Mark Thompson show. And of course to the after party with Kim and John Daly. You guys have been really, really so generous and we want to keep it going. And we love you guys so much. And look who's a new person to the show, Kim. Matthew, nice to meet you all. My name is Matthew, 23 years old with ADHD from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Oh, welcome, Matthew.
Hello to this community, Matthew. Welcome. The water feels good. Our community is so awesome. So welcome. We normally do the show at this time, Monday through Friday. So thank you for joining our little community here.
Can I put up a text from Fida?
Yes, please.
And she corrects me, which I think is important.
Okay.
I went to high school with Fida.
Oh, okay. Hi, Fida.
Fida says, Kim, the prisoner exchange is not lopsided. Because remember I said,
oh, yes,
there's something like 200-ish prisoners that were taken from Israel and being held by Hamas, right?
Right.
And so the exchange is for only 50 of them. And in exchange, Israel is giving Hamas 150 prisoners being held there, right?
Okay.
So I said it sounds lopsided, but Fida says it's not lopsided.
Oops, sorry.
Oops.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I lost
she
it.
said it's not lopsided. Israel has thousands of Palestinians in prisons unlawfully detained for years. And that I did not know. So she makes a really good point.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you clarified that because again, and as we were talking about earlier, this is happening. While I am happy about the prisoner exchange and the 4-day ceasefire that begins tomorrow, which I know that they don't celebrate Thanksgiving, right? So I know that doesn't make sense over there, but it does seem to be interesting timing. But 4 or 5 days, hopefully it holds, but hopefully there can be some resolution to all of this. But with Fida saying thousands of prisoners, that needs to be addressed as well. And so my prayers just go out to everybody, whether you're over there dealing directly with the conflict, whether you're family or friends or just a human being here and watching this unfold, our hearts definitely go out to everybody, honestly, to this whole entire thing. And we love you guys. And that's our show. But please, we'll stay here today. Mark Thompson is next. Then the after party with John.
Mark Thompson is absent today.
Oh, that's right.
It's me.
It's Kim that's doing Mark Thompson Show, which is fabulous. And then she's doing the after party with John Daly.
Yeah.
Everyone has the day off tomorrow, but I do have something special for you tomorrow. It's right at 9:00. So if you want to have the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, keep an eye out for Joanne dressed as a tap dancing Christmas tree in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade tomorrow. You can tune my show on this channel on anytime. It'll be airing at 9:00, though, a great holiday-focused interview. And then on Friday, I will be having a great conversation about how to protect our mind, how to make our mind immune to misinformation and disinformation. So those are all going to start at 9:00 normal time right here on YouTube. And we can get into this.
I just want to throw that out there because you never know. Like when someone says something and then someone says, and how do you know what to believe? Because you have so much information coming at you.
And so many people have direct experience with it. So yes.
Right. If I got it wrong on either side, my bad. I'm sorry.
Exactly. All right, you guys. So stay right here. Mark Thompson with Kim McAllister. I just want to give more thank yous, though. Donald with the $25 donation.
Yay.
Thank you so much. Also, Grady, great show. Nikki and Kim have a great holiday. Peace to all the homies in our chat. So thank you, Grady, for that. Harry with a $10 donation. Janet with a $50 donation. Thank you guys so much.
Guys,
Doug with $10. Flo with $5. And another congratulations to you, Flo. That's amazing. John with a $10 donation. And Flo also came in with another $20 donation to start off the show. Thank you guys. I am thankful for you. I will say thank you to you guys every single day, but especially this time of year. And again, if you guys can sign up to be a Medorable, this is a 100% crowdfunded show. Please do. TheNikkiMedoroShow.com. Donate to our Patreon. Please check out my list of favorite things. I've put it in the show notes if you're doing some holiday shopping. And yes, Gordon, you're absolutely correct. Go Niners. I hope it's a good Thanksgiving. All right, you guys. I love you all. Have a great Thanksgiving. Bye-bye. Mwah.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. You're proud, like a beautiful blossom. You're also the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.